Hi there, my name's Jack Costerton. I'm a sport graduate at the University of Gloucestershire. I'm here today at Oxford's campus at a sports arena, a new complex built in 2018, and I'm joined by Rachael Bullingham, a course leader on physical education. Hi Rachael, how are you doing?
I'm good, Jack, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. To start us off, before we get into the details of the course and the university, it'd be great to know a bit about yourself. So why are you passionate about what you do?
Well, I really love what I do. I was lucky enough to be a physical education teacher before I came into higher education. And so I'm all about inspiring students to be able to go out into the world, into the PE sector, and inspire young people into a physically active lifestyle for the rest of their lives.
So was it easy to transition from being a PE teacher to being a lecturer?
Yeah, it was a gradual transition for me. I worked in a couple of schools to get my industry experience, and then went part-time studying my PhD to make sure that I had the right industry experience but also the right academic background to be able to move into HE.
Do you see any differences working with pupils in like a secondary primary school setting where it was to working with students at a university? Is there much difference?
There is a bit of difference, but it's all about being able to inspire young people, whether they're in school or in university, to find that thing that they love, to really, whatever that might be, so whether that's a sport, an activity, or something within the literature or a topic that they really enjoy and that they can run with. So for example, third years have their dissertation, and it's a really lovely way to see third years go through and picking a topic that they enjoy, that they can really run with, and then finally hand in their dissertation.
Perfect. And the University of Gloucestershire, obviously where you're working now, and you haven't worked here too long, have you? How long has it been?
Only since January, actually, but I'm a graduate from the University of Gloucestershire, so I did my PGCE here, so it's nice to be back.
Oh, great, so you've got some experience. So, not having taught here so long, what is a standout for you? Like, what's so good about this university for you?
The thing about this university is the people, the staff. I have, like you say, only started since January. It's been a funny year, but the staff have been so incredibly supportive to both myself and the students. We know our students, we know who they are, we know them by name, we know what they want to do, and for me it makes it get that small family feel of a university, which I think you don't necessarily get everywhere.
So the course Physical Education, tell me a little bit about it.
So it's a course designed for those that want to go on to teaching. Having said that, a lot of our graduates go on to a wide range of things. They don't all go into doing a PGCE, but the course is designed to allow people to go on to a PGCE if that's what they want to do. So it gives them the skills, knowledge and understanding to be able to get onto a PGCE and go and deliver PE both in primary or secondary schools.
So if it wasn't teaching, because for me looking at it saying physical education, I'm thinking, okay, teaching's the route to go down. What other opportunities are there if it's not just teaching? Well,
we have a broad range of where our graduates go. So not only onto a PGCE, but we've had students go into the forces, students go into the outdoor education sector, as well as broad graduate training programs.
So how does the course progress from level 4 through to level 6?
We have a really progressive course. So at level 4, we might cover things like teaching styles and also making sure that students are aware of how to make their teaching inclusive. As we move to level 5, we might look at things like models of teaching and starting to develop planning within that. And as we move towards level 6, we look at things like GCSE and A-level PE and BTEC delivery to make sure that students are aware of the full range that is on offer within a school setting.
So is that quite hands-on for the students then?
Yeah, it's really hands-on, and we try and make sure we've got that practical delivery embedded throughout. And that might be in here in the sports arena, outside on the 3G, or in the sports hall at Oxstalls. And we try and make sure that we're covering content knowledge of different sports, so it might be gym, dance, or various games. And those are delivered whilst doing that, applying theory to practical.
And obviously the lectures happening, there's that practice of what you're learning in the outside world when you graduate. Is that a safe space for students to get things wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. It's most important that students get things wrong, and that's how you learn and get better and improve. So students get the opportunity to kind of peer teach, as well as working in groups to make sure that they feel supported, but also get that opportunity that things do go wrong when you're teaching, but that is how you learn and that's how you get better. And that allows students that when they go out onto placement, they have more confidence and that they are able to put into practice the things that they've learned and tried while whilst they've been with us here at university.
What are the placement opportunities for this course?
We have a wide range of placement opportunities. A lot of our students decide to go into school placements, whether that's primary or secondary, to get a broad range of schools and knowledge so that they are able to show that experience when they go on to either a PGCE or other graduate jobs.
I link into that, of course, with a physical education course, there needs to be that practical understanding as well as that theory. So how is that balanced in your course?
Well, we balance it throughout a variety of modules. So we're lucky enough to have the arena here. So we do have some lectures that are based over here, and we try and mix theory and practical when possible. So we might learn about something in terms of theory and then apply it in a practical setting. And we do that in a variety of modules on the course.
So as well as the course itself, is there any extra trips or activities students can get onto?
Yeah, so we have previously run some outdoor education trips where students have been able to go climbing and caving and so on. And at level 6, we currently have a module that is alternative activities where students get to try a broad range of activities that they might not have done before.
So that must be very beneficial for the students.
Yeah, it is really beneficial. They get a lot of kind of skills outside what we're teaching them within those trips. So they might develop their communication or build friendships that they might not have had previously within the university. But also in Your Future Plan weeks, we have a lot of opportunities as well for students to build their content knowledge or get a wider and broader experience to help with their employability when they leave the university.
A lot of questions you get around students is how they're assessed essentially. So how is the assessments working on the physical education course?
Well, we have a really broad range of assessments, and we have that to make sure that it works for the students, but also they get a wide range of experience when they move on to other graduate jobs. So we have presentations, podcasts, essays, practical assessments, a really broad range to make sure that it's not just one assessment type that students are having throughout their degree, but a really broad range to give them that experience of lots of different sorts of assessment, which helps then when they move on and leave the university.
Perfect. You mentioned earlier being a PE teacher yourself in the past. How can you support the students through their courses then? Is that something that's really easy for you? Is it quite general for staff?
Yeah, I mean, it is easy having kind of done the job. So it's a nice thing to be able to say, well, when I was teaching, this is kind of what I found, and also giving experience to those students of what I found within schools. And other staff also have that kind of industry experience to be able to provide that advice and support. But we also have really good links with the local school communities, and so we bring those teachers in who are still teaching to provide that real life example. So we might have our examples from when we were teaching, but we like to make sure that it is up to date. So we do like getting staff in from local schools, not only to give students that real life examples, but also create those connections with our local community and the local schools that we have around Gloucester.
So as well as the experience you mentioned there from yourself and others you bring into the course, how else can students be supported here at university when attending?
Well, we have a really good student support system. So we have the help zone that is on every campus. We also have Your Future Plan, which supports students the whole way through their degree programme to make sure that they are ready for a graduate job when they leave. And that is both supported with their tutor as well. So every student has a tutor, and they will meet with them as a minimum of 3 times a year. And that is definitely a minimum. I certainly see a lot of my tutees more than that. And we are there to provide that advice, support and guidance when needed. Coupled with that, we also have the help zone that provides support outside what the tutor can offer.
So maybe the nervous students coming to university or mature students that have been out of education for a while, how can they get additional support from the tutors like yourself?
Well, we have lectures and then we have seminar groups. So seminars is a really good opportunity to get that discussion and ask questions. It's still in a group setting though, so if students want more support outside of those environments, they can book tutorials with us. So they can book tutorials either with their tutor or with their module tutor. And that tutorial support allows them to make sure they're on the right lines with their assessments and allows us to kind of work through the assessments with the student to provide advice, support and feedback to allow them to kind of move forward to their final submission.
You touched on earlier that you bring in teachers from the sort of schools in the community into your lectures to keep it sort of up to date. But how else do you keep the course up to date each year so it's progressing along with what's happening in the outside world?
Well, we really make sure that we are keeping up to date with what's going on in PE, also in line with government policy as well, but also current research. So we make sure that we are up to date with what is being published so that students get the information that is happening now as much as possible. But you know, that link with the teachers is for me really important, because when we're looking at literature and so on that is up to date, it's still not as up to date as those teachers' experiences. So they bring something really unique to what we do on the course.
So you mentioned earlier that you do research to keep the course up to date. Is there any research you do yourself currently?
Yeah, within the community we have a broad range of research with people researching coaching, physical education, but myself I'm really inspired by making sure that everyone has the same opportunity within sport. So I look at inequality a lot, so women in sport, homophobia in sport, and also making sure that people are safe. So I also research concussion in sport as well.
In terms of prospective students, what are you looking for from them to apply for this course?
Well, we've got the tariff points, but we look for things far beyond that. So we're looking for enthusiasm, passion, and those students who really want to make a difference. You know, myself, I've been a PE teacher. I'm about inspiring young people to take part in physical activity and also really get a passion for academia and what they're studying. And that's what we're looking for with our students. We are looking for that real passion and drive for those students who want to really take the subject and really run with it.
And what are you looking for from the background of potential students? Does it have to be anything particular?
Well, we have a really broad range of students on our course. So some students have done BTEC, some students have done A-level, and as you previously mentioned, we do have some mature students as well. So it is really broad where our students come from and what kind of qualifications they've come in with.
And what's the best way to get in contact with yourself if someone was interested and wanted to ask all these questions?
Well, they can drop me an email. So my email is rbullingham1@glos.ac.uk, or they can get involved in social media. So we have Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and that will give students a more up-to-date picture of what's going on. So it kind of gives the day-to-day activities of what we're doing within the university.
So in one sentence, could you possibly summarise why someone should sign up to your course today?
We have really passionate staff who know their students, and a course that is designed for those that want to go on to teaching physical education.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you for watching. For more information, please visit our website at glos.ac.uk, and we hope to see you in September.